Good evening and welcome. I'm hoping you're having a really lovely evening. You're listening to Modern Mystic Radio, and also you're listening to on Ask One Radio Network, the world's #1 psychic radio network. My name is Saira. I'm going to be hosting the show now for the next 30 minutes. I'm going to be going through two callers as well. So I'm inviting two callers onto the show. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about me, about myself, how I work, just in case you've never heard of me before. Okay, so I'm a psychic, been working as a psychic for 27 years over in the UK, and also internationally as well now. So I work with a variety of different tools. I've got a couple of different ones to sort of show you and work with today. Normally I work with my cards, and I do have them here. I'm just going to quickly show these to you. Okay, so there we have my favourite cards, 27 years old, that particular pack is. And today I've got my rune stones. So I'm just going to sort of hold those up to the camera, just so you can see that there. So the rune stones are ancient Scandinavian symbols etched onto, in my case, crystals. Don't know if you can see those. And there are 25 in total. And what I do is really just deal them out, just cast them out. So I'll pull out a few, put them in a little bit of a format, and that is my rune cast, and I'll do a reading from that. Very, very powerful, very, very old way of working. And a lot of people struggle with working with rune stones because, there's not really an awful lot to go on apart from that very, very simple symbol that you kind of saw earlier, but I find them very, very easy to work with, specifically actually with these cards, the Sai cards. I absolutely love this pack. They're not the tarot, and I do have the tarot, I do work with the tarot. They're not the tarot, and I find them easier, and I use them a lot as I'm teaching or when I'm teaching. So not only do I work psychically, I work on UK TV, Sky TV, a channel called Psychic Today. I've been doing that for the last few years. I also work privately, have my own private practice, and I work in a variety of different ways as well as using different tools. So, number one, first and foremost, I'm a psychic and have been since early childhood. And really, that really took off for me when I was 17 years old. So that's 27 years old that I've been working, professionally, or 27 years ago, should I say. So I've got my runestones, got my cards. I've also got my crystals here with me as well. Now today I'm using my selenite ball. Okay, so I'm just going to show that to you as well. So this is it. It's like a bowling ball, this one. It's absolutely huge. Now selenite is an incredibly high vibrational crystal. It's actually quite fragile as well, so it's something that if you get it wet, basically it can damage the crystal. It's very, very delicate like that. But what I love using that particular ball for is it just amplifies everything. It opens up my crown chakra, and that obviously enables me to be more psychic. So all of the tools that I use are there to enable me to be more psychic for you. So when I'm tuning in to your readings, when I'm tuning into your voice vibrations and tuning into your energy, I'll use a variety of different methods there to make me more psychic for you. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to talk to you today about has really been prompted by some of my readings that I've had over this week. This week has been a really, really interesting week. I don't know about you, but I found the new moon in Pisces, along with the solar eclipse, particularly powerful, very emotional for some people as well. So I don't know whether you found yourself going through, I felt like I was going up and down all over the place over the past week or so. And I know a lot of my callers as well have as well too. So don't know whether that's something you can relate to, but one of the things I wanted to talk about was intuition today. So I had a caller earlier tonight that was asking a really, really important question, really key question here, one that I think we've probably all asked ourselves. So she'd made a couple of big moves, big jumps in her life, and they've gone wrong. Okay, and she was saying, what is the universe playing at? Why has it gone wrong? Why am I going wrong? And sometimes people say to me, well, I don't want to listen to my intuition because it's been wrong, on occasions. And I wanted to really sort of like tackle that particular subject because I feel that it is one that we do all ask ourselves, why does this happen? Why do we go out and follow our intuition and then it leads us to what we feel is the wrong place? Now, I always view the intuition as our soul speaking to us. Now, when we're born, we have like a set plan. There's a set plan within what we're supposed to be achieving, what we're supposed to be learning. Now, our intuition is almost like our own little guide, if you like, to push us onto the next phase, onto the next step, whether that's a relationship or whether that's a job or some other situation here. And when we listen to our intuition, we then follow it. Now, our intuition isn't necessarily there just so we experience all the positive things. Like I said, it's about soul growth. So our intuition will lead us to whatever is going to make us grow the most next. Now, sometimes that might not necessarily feel particularly comfortable, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. Okay, so 9 times out of 10, your intuition is absolutely spot on. And also, if you're sending intentions out into the universe and you feel like they've gone wrong, well, maybe it's that they haven't gone wrong. Maybe it's more of a case where actually they've gone right, but you needed to do that step before you could go on to the next step. So I always think, and I always say to people, never fear a change when it's not working in the way that you want to. Quite often, that is your cue to move on to the next phase. Now, another thing that I found quite interesting as well, and something I sort of like touched on last week, was children and psychic ability. I had a caller again earlier today, and she was talking about her daughter being incredibly open, talking to her spirit guides and all sorts of different things. Was there anything there that could kind of help? What could she do as a mother, as a parent, to help her daughter? Now, I went over last week my own experiences as a child. I used to see spirit all the time. I was very, very clairvoyant as a child. I used to see spirit at night, and it was a little bit scary at that particular point in time for me. And that's how I became really aware of my psychic ability. So also, quite often we are naturally psychic, all of us, and particularly children. I know my son, he's grown up now, but my son, when he was about 8 or 9, came rushing into my bedroom for something, and I was meditating at the time, just lying there on the bed meditating, and I heard him come in, and then I heard him dash back out again. I thought, well, obviously he's seen me meditating, doesn't want to disturb me. So I went downstairs later on after I'd finished, and he was giving me the most shiftiest look you've ever seen in your life. Really looking at me very, very strangely. And I said to him, are you okay? What's wrong? He said, well, no, not really. I'm not okay. And I said, well, what's up? And he said, well, is it normal for people when they're meditating to be floating up to the ceiling? And I said, well, no, not really. No, that's not normal. And he said, well, you were. And quite clearly, my son had seen my astral body, which obviously had come out of my physical body. I know my physical body was lying there on the bed. I was fully conscious, fully awake. I heard him come in, I heard him go out. But he must have seen my astral body. So it's something we did discuss, and he was okay about it in the end. He didn't think that his mum floats up to the ceiling. I explained what it was, that it wasn't my physical body, it was just my astral body, but it's his psychic sight that enabled him to see that. So your psychic ability can start very, very young. And what I'm finding here with a lot of people is that they're talking about having their own experiences, both in childhood and also in their adulthood as well. We are reaching a point in time, I think, sort of globally, where a lot of us are beginning to really, really open up, and a lot of us are also being born with these gifts, and we don't know what to do with them. Okay, and this is an area that I do like to specialise in, that I do like to teach in as well, as learning how to control those psychic abilities and also how to use them as well, to the best of your ability. Now, we have our first caller, which it's Kimberly from Colorado. Hi, Kimberly, you there?
Yes, I am. Hi, how are you?
I'm really well, thank you. How are you?
Very good.
Excellent. Do you have a question for me?
Yes, I was wondering if you could see when me and my husband are going to conceive, and if it'll be a boy or a girl, and then anything else you could pick up on.
Okay. Right, let's just have a look and see what I get for you. I might actually pull out a couple of geomancy cards, which I have with me. That is pretty good, actually, but let's just see what the cards have to say for you. Let's just see what we have. Okay. Right, I'm getting, in terms of you as parents, I'm getting a very strong yes feeling on this for this year. I'm just trying to have a look at timing here with you. I feel like I'm being drawn to around May time, but let me just get my geomancy here and just have a quick look to see what these have to say, because they're very good for timing, particularly when we're looking at the areas of fertility. Let's just see what we have. Okay, so I'm going to give these a little bit of a shuffle, and let's just see what we have coming up for you. I'm just going to pull 3 of these at random. Okay, so interestingly enough, the first geomantic symbol that I've got here is for girl, okay, feminine. Okay. So I feel like in terms of what you were asking here, whether it would be a boy or girl, I want to say girl here with this. I want to say girl. Okay. And let's just see in terms of timing what we have. I feel here, I'm going to roll the dice as well. Okay. I want to say late spring, early summer with you. That's where I feel like I'm being drawn to. I feel like we've got a feminine energy coming in. I also feel like you've been, this has been a bit of a long journey for you. I feel like you've been trying for some time. And I feel like I want to sort of reiterate, sometimes why we have to have that wait, if that makes sense. Sure. We need to wait until the time where, I want to say, where the child will be born. So astrologically, they have the best possible makeup for their soul's purpose. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Yeah. So it's almost like, don't fear if it takes its time. That time is not about your ability to conceive at all. It's about the conditions and everything to, for that soul to be born at that particular moment in time. But I'm getting May around the conception here for you. Let's just see what these cards have to say. And I feel, early summer, late spring, early summer. That's what I'm getting. Okay, let's have a look here. I have got you celebrating good news coming up for this year. I also feel here that, I want to say in terms of the pregnancy going forwards, I feel like I want to say sort of happy and healthy right throughout as well. I want to reiterate that. I actually feel that you're yourself very, very intuitive.
Yeah, I am.
Incredibly intuitive, incredibly psychic. And I feel that you will sense the moment that you conceive. Absolutely. Okay. I feel like you will sense it, feel it, dream it. There will be something there that really it's like you will know before you know. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, you will know before you find out. Again, these cards, just looking at the tarot here for you very, very quickly, and these are all pointing to female energy. Female energy. So I feel that I want to say almost like this time next year, I feel like this is the birthday. This is when you are likely to be due. So I feel like probably you're going to be conceiving within the next sort of 3 months.
Awesome.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to ask?
If you see anybody around me family-wise.
In terms of mediumship?
Yes.
Okay, let's have a look for you. I'm just going to tune into your energy. There is a very strong female energy around you. Now, I'm not quite sure, because I get almost like the nurturing aspect here, and I feel like they're showing me almost like they're looking after, they're caring after the soul of the baby that is coming in for you. I feel, if I look at this, is because of the maternal nature of this lady, I want to say mother or grandmother energy is coming through here. And I feel, I want to say this person is very, very well. I want to say very, very well known to you. So you're incredibly close. I'm just going to get my mediumship cards here for you with this one. So let's just have a look here. Okay, so what you're being told here is to let go. This is what the mediumship cards are telling you to do. Let go of any fear, let go of any anxiety, because you are very much loved by spirit. I feel very much, see, I'm getting an initial M here. I'm not sure whether it's a relation to that lady that I've got for you, or there's somebody around you with the initial M, but I want to give that to you. I feel like you need to be letting go of fear, letting go of negativity. I think the last couple of years for you have been quite challenging, quite difficult, quite emotional for you. But you're very much loved by this lady that I've got here in spirit, who seems to be sending all of her love and energy out to you. So thank you very much for calling in. I hope you found that helpful.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. You take care. Okay, so we are now going on to our next caller, and this is Candice from Orlando, Florida. Hello, Candice.
Hi.
Hiya, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I've just noticed I pronounced your name wrong. It's Candice, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Sorry, that's me. Me being daft. Right, okay. Do you have a question for me, Candice?
Yes, actually I do. I've been going back and forth several years in a certain relationship, and I just kind of want to know if this time what I should do at this point, because I'm conflicted.
Right, okay, let's have a look at your relationship. So I'm just going to tune into your energy for you as well. Let's just see what we have. Okay, I'm just tuning into your energy because I feel like I'm blocked. And I get it all in the head, like I'm just like almost like worrying myself silly over this. Right, let's have a look and see what I get with you. I feel like you are at a crossroads with this relationship. Does that make sense? It's either make or break this year.
Yes.
I feel, like I said, it's like you are feeling stuck. You are feeling blocked around this particular situation. I feel that it's like you need to know whether the relationship is ever going to move forward. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, that is, how can I put it? If you knew that, for sure, it would make your decision making so much easier. Okay. Now, I'm actually getting a yes around that in terms of will it move forward? Will they move forward? Have they got complications on their side as well?
Do they have what? I'm sorry, could you repeat that question?
Yeah, sorry. Have they got complications on their side as well?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's a very awkward relationship. We was in a committed relationship for a while, and then we decided to not have the commitment due. We didn't want to build a lot of resentment because neither one of us was kind of ready for that at that moment. But we've continued our friendship and our relationship just without a commitment. And I'm just getting to the point now. Several years have passed, and I don't know where to go with it.
I mean, I'm looking at the cards, and I feel here that there is a future with it. I feel if I look at you two kind of together as a couple, I get a very strong soul connection here with you. And also, it's
You're absolutely right, and that's why I'm conflicted, because I know this. I know how deep it goes, and I don't know how to let that go. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I get with this, it's almost like a double-edged sword. It's there are things here within the relationship that I feel like are just you don't feel are workable, if that makes sense, and things that cannot be resolved to a certain degree. But also you are just pulled back together. It's like two magnets just being pulled back together each time you try and kind of go your separate ways. I feel like you're just like you've got a bit of elastic between the two of you. Bang, you come back together again.
Yes, I have moved states away, and circumstances brings me right back every time.
Yes. So this to me is saying that there is something here that needs to be worked out, needs to be properly resolved here, because if you were meant to separate and just go your own way, this wouldn't be happening here. I feel, let's have a look around the relationship. It is challenging. And your heart, I feel like I want to say, listen to your heart, because your heart's telling you that this relationship that is where you kind of need to be. There are pluses and there are minuses with this relationship. It's not the easiest of relationships to kind of be in, but because of the soul nature of your relationship, see, I feel here it's like you as a couple have gone through what I term the soulmate crisis, where it really it just breaks down that soul connection here. So you've gone your separate ways, and now you've come back together again.
Right.
I feel, because what I'm being shown here is almost like a sense of waiting out the situation, not making a decision on it just yet. Because I feel that what is about to happen over the next, I feel like in the next quarter, next 4 months here, is going to clearly define where you go with that relationship. I feel that you're going to be able to completely work through this relationship. I feel like it has got a deeper meaning. And let's see. Yeah, I keep on getting intuition with this. So I feel that your relationship is designed, let me just tune into it. Your relationship is designed, was there for you both to grow. Okay. And I'm not quite sure what's gone wrong. Do you know what I mean? I'm not quite sure who's not growing.
Well, it's like
I'm not quite sure. Yeah.
It's I kind of had a spiritual awakening from the pain that I have suffered from this man.
Yeah.
Like, it cut me so deep to where it just opened up a whole nother part of everything. And I don't know. I guess my heart stopped to the point to where, you know, I had no choice but to look through my soul to even find my way back to the light, because I was drowning. And
yeah. So
I don't know. And I think to myself, you know, people grow through pain, and he gives me the pain that grows me. So I don't know how, you know, some people, I don't know, his pain is different. The pain I have in our relationship, it encourages growth in me. So I don't, that's why I'm conflicted. I'm like, how is this even possible? So
it's because it is a soul relationship. So you got you know, you were meant to go through that spiritual awakening, and I feel it's now his turn to go through his own kind of spiritual awakening, and then you can be properly reunited, which is why I feel you need to wait this one out, because I feel like it has got a future, it has got potential, but it will be harmonious, not disharmonious, which is kind of where you've been sat for some time with it. Now, my show is nearly over, so I'm going to have to say goodbye to you, but thank you very much for calling through, and I hope you found that useful.
all right, thank you. Yes, ma'am, I sure did.
Thank you. And off she goes, and I'm just going to have a quick goodbye. So if you want to get hold of me, you can reach me at my website, which is modern-mystic.co.uk. Also on Facebook as well, Facebook, Twitter, all the usual social media. So I am going to wish you a very nice evening ahead. Keep listening, stay tuned, and I'll be back same time next week. And I'm wishing you a fabulous week ahead. Bye for now.